computer stuff. It's usually always for something a little bit above and beyond what we would normally, or just to help our own budget, because we have to update the radios and
Yeah.
computers and stuff,
Yeah.
so.
When they don't, like Moonine here did not
She didn't
specify.
specify what she wanted to
So-
go for, no. But, like with the A-Star one, they were told that's what they were gonna use the money for.
Right.
You know, if you give us money, this is what we're gonna buy with it,
In our
so.
thank you, could we let the person know that,
Oh, sure.
that how the money, how their money is being applied?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Anybody else?
We should also have a spot on there for Adam to sign.
Yeah, well, he may be doing his own anyway too, so.
Oh, all right.
This is like, cause the fire department too is gonna do a special presentation with A-Star people too, so.
Alright, sounds good. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Okay.
Opposed? Motion passes, thank you. 8D, consideration of adoption of resolution 2015-061, acknowledging a donation of labor and materials from State Farm Insurance, Micah Hansen Agency, for re-roofing the easterly shelter at Creekside Park. See attached resolution, and thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hansi, second by Mr. Dahl. Questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, thank you. Thank you to State Farm Insurance, Micah Hansen. On to 8E, ICS.
Okay.
This is a service that Merchants Bank offers. When we were at Associated Bank, we also had the same service where they take the money and sweep it out every night and sweep it back in every day. And it helps them with the amount of collateral that they have to have in their specific bank, because there's, like this little diagram shows, there's actually 3 banks that are using our money then, so those 3 banks are collateralizing the funds. And that's just something we always have to keep really close watch on, is to make sure that we have enough collateral for the money we have in the bank. And, but by allowing this sweep, we get better interest then. Interest is not great right now anyway, but we get, the one is like the money market is like 0.25, and it would go up to 0.35. So, it's no work on our part, it's no risk on our part. We just get a little bit of extra money, and it allows them to just use our money in different ways. But it's always available to us if we need it, you know, that doesn't disappear ever. And there's a module on the on-site program where I can go and look and see where it is every time if I need to, but if we had to write out $1 million check, it would be there, you know, just because it's swept out, it would still be back there, so. But it's just one of those things where our financial policies, there's, on all of our checking and our financial things, there's 3 signatures required, so it'd be the mayor, the administrator, myself would all have to sign the forms to enter into this contract to do this. So, if you think it's a good thing, then we can enter into the agreement and we can sign all the forms we need to sign.
And we met with merchants last week and went through with it, and I don't see any reason not to proceed with it. It's more efficient on their part.
Well, what are we doing now?
They don't take the money out of the account right now. It just sits in the bank, in our account.
So all they're asking for is to use the money overnight.
Correct.
And then we get better interest. They get help collateralizing the money, you know, because they have to be sure that, they have to give us a collateral note every month to show that there's enough to cover all the money that we have in there.
Like the whole sum of about $10 a month.
Pretty much. The main issue for the city is the collateral piece. You know, the auditors will check that, and they have to pledge the appropriate amount of collateral for the money that we have deposited. The issue there is when, especially when we get our settlements from the county, those numbers can jump pretty quickly, but merchants has the ability to collateralize those on the fly.
And I remember when we did this with Associated many years ago, we asked our auditors if they had any issues or problems with it, and they were, bigger cities do this all the time, so they had no issue with it at all. Cause we'll have all the documentation, all the paperwork anyway, so.
Need a motion to go ahead with it, or just?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
because the three of us have to sign.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hansi, second by Mr. Dahl. Any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, thank you. Number 9, ordinances, we do not have any this evening.
We added 8F, Your Honor,
Oh, 8F, what was 8F?
the school.
I thought we were gonna talk about it at 10, I'm sorry. Missed that. 8F, school.
We spoke with the superintendent and spoke with Jay Kruger last week from CMS about the permitting process. And, you know, mindful that the school is anxious to get started, the building permit is not back yet. It's, at least to my knowledge, it hasn't been issued, correct?
correct.
And so,
The state,
correct. And then CMS has to do their review process as well. But what they have done is they've issued, based upon the site approval, the ability to put the fencing up for erosion control and to start moving dirt. What they won't be able to do until they get the permit is to start pouring cement footings and that type of thing. But even though they moved an awful lot of dirt today, they're a long ways away from being able to do that. So this is normal for large projects to start this way. It's not out of the norm to not have the building permit per se. And like we talked about today, the state's not gonna comment about the size of the structure or anything like that, so it's not like they're not digging the hole where it needs to be. That's all engineered. The site plan is what guides where that's located. We have had several discussions with them about moving the trailer, and they've accommodated us with that. There were some complaints about that. There was also some concern about private drive access, and but again, that's an issue between the school and the property owners. We're monitoring that activity and the conversations in case we're needed to step in and help resolve any issues that might arise.
so this is just sort of a preliminary okay to start moving dirt down. And
First off, the erosion
do
control.
on, do on-site
Correct.
changes or whatever.